Cute?
Absolutely.
Easy?
Not even close. The Yorkshire Terrier may look like a tiny lapdog, but in reality, it can be loud, demanding, and far more stubborn than most people expect. So here's the real question. Is the York actually a good match for apartment living, family life, and everyday city routines, or is this a breed that only pretends to be simple? In a moment, I'll break it down with zero sugarcoating. You'll learn exactly who this breed works for, and who is almost guaranteed to regret the decision. Is a Yorkshire Terrier a dog for an apartment? Yes, but only under certain conditions. A Yorkshire Terrier can be a very good apartment dog because it's small, adapts well to city life, and doesn't need a big garden or forest marathons. But it is not an easy because it's small dog. It's a small terrier with a strong personality, one that needs clear rules, regular grooming, and a person who understands that a York is not a decoration, but a real dog with emotions and needs. If you expect a dog that will be a quiet mascot, will adapt to everything on its own, and won't be demanding, I can already tell you. With a York, that often doesn't work. Everything comes down to three things: barking, being left alone, and grooming. And we'll come back to these points later, because they usually decide whether someone lives happily with a York or gets frustrated quickly. For whom is this breed a good choice? A Yorkshire Terrier is a good choice for someone who wants a small city dog, but isn't looking for a sofa decoration, but rather a companion with a character. If you're the type of person who likes having a dog close, enjoys daily interaction, short walks, indoor play, and doesn't mind regular grooming, a York can fit your lifestyle very well. It's also a sensible breed for someone living in an apartment who wants a logistically convenient dog that is still lively, alert, and attached to its owner. It also works well for older people or those working from home, as long as they want to actually live with the dog, not just own a dog. Even the ideal owner must accept a few things. A York can be vocal, emotionally clingy, and requires consistency. It's not physically difficult, but it's very easy to spoil with indulgence. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Apartment scale 5 out of 5. Couch potato index 4 out of 5. Turbo energy scale 4 out of 5. For whom would this breed not be a good choice? I'll say it plainly. A York is not a good choice for people who want a dog that is small, therefore trouble-free. That's one of the most common traps. If you work outside the home for 9 to 10 hours a day and have no plan for care, walks, or proper alone time training, a York will often repay you with barking, tension, or excessive attachment. If you dislike regular grooming, don't want to go to a groomer, or don't have patience for brushing, I'd skip this breed. Second trap. We'll get a small dog for the kids. It will be easier. No, not necessarily. A small dog is more delicate, easier to accidentally hurt, and indulging a small dog often leads to very poor habits. Third point. If you are looking for a dog that is very stable with everything and everyone, one that will naturally get along with the world on its own, a York is not the most predictable choice. It's a dog that needs guidance, not one you can leave to figure things out by itself. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Honor scale 2 out of 5. Self-entertainment index 2 out of 5. Grooming salon scale 2 out of 5. Activity and daily needs. The good news is that a York doesn't need extreme exercise. The bad news is that many people underestimate its needs because of that. In practice, for most Yorks, a sensible minimum is about 30 to 45 minutes of activity per day, plus some short mental work at home. It's not about covering kilometers. It's about giving the dog a walk, some exploration, human contact, and a chance to calm down afterward. A typical well-structured day might look like this: a short morning walk, then a few minutes of nose work or simple exercises, an afternoon walk, and an evening moment of play or quiet contact. Time for a mini quiz. Let's check if you're paying attention. For whom York will not be a good choice? It's not a good fit for those who doesn't like barking, for those who doesn't like grooming, and for those who leave a dog for too long alone. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Turbo Energy Scale 4 out of 5. Couch Potato Index 4 out of 5. Apartment, house in solitude. If you ask directly, is a York suitable for an apartment? Yes, very much so. It's one of the breeds that truly thrive in apartments, as long as you don't turn the home into a prison with occasional quick pee breaks. A York doesn't need a house with a garden to live well. And here's a common mistake. A garden is a bonus, not a solution. A garden alone won't replace walks, exposure to stimuli, learning to function in the world, or a normal daily routine. As for the alone time, let's be honest. A York usually functions better in a home where the person is fairly present. A well-trained adult dog can often handle 3 to 5 hours, but regularly leaving it for much longer is risky. That doesn't mean every York will develop issues, but it's not a breed I'd choose blindly for a gone-all-day lifestyle. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Apartment Scale 5 out of 5. Garden Myth Index 2 out of 5. Loner Scale 2 out of 5. Children and other animals. A Yorkshire Terrier can live with children, but ideally when the children understand that a dog is not a toy. It's not a breed I'd bring into a home with a very small child just because the dog is tiny. Precisely because of its size, it's easy to squeeze too hard, carry around, wake up, disturb during eating, or accidentally injure. If there are children in the home, the dog should have a safe zone and clear rules of interaction. With other dogs, it varies. A York can get along great, but can also be feisty and overly confident. With a cat, it can live well, especially if introduced properly, but much depends on socialization and the individual dog's temperament. Let's debunk one myth. A small dog does not automatically mean an ideal dog for children. Sometimes it's the opposite. It requires more caution and adult supervision. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. Patience with Children Scale 2 out of 5. Dog Diplomat Index 2 out of 5. Cat Tolerance Scale 3 out of 5. Grooming Health and Costs. You know, the bowl does not fill itself. If you enjoy our movies, please donate. You will find the donation link in the description and the pinned comment. This is the place where many people give up. A York sheds very little, but that doesn't mean it's low maintenance. It has hair that grows and requires regular work. With a long coat, brushing is almost daily. With a short trim, you still need to manage the coat several times a week. A typical kit includes a slicker or pin brush, a metal comb, gentle coat products, nail tools, and often a good harness instead of a collar. You will also need to add eye, ear, and dental care. All our recommendations for the basic York kit can be found in the video description and the pinned comment under the video. Remember that when you buy from the stores we recommend, you pay the same, but support our channel. Health-wise, the most common issues are dental problems, patellar luxation, tracheal collapse, and several small breed predispositions. No need to panic, but it's worth knowing. Monthly costs are roughly about $90 to $230 including food, prevention, a vet reserve, and realistic grooming costs. Tip number 1. Don't skimp on dental care. Tip number 2. Choose gear that doesn't put pressure on the neck. How the analyses from this section affected the ratings. For in the home index, 5 out of 5. Grooming salon scale.
2 out of 5.
Veterinary risk index.
2 out of 5.
Owner's wallet scale. 3 out of 5.
Final assessment.
My short answer: yes, if you want a small dog with character and you're ready to handle grooming, emotions, and daily interaction. If you're looking for a dog that's easy just because it weighs a few kilos, then probably not. And it's better to admit that now than after months of frustration. The Yorkshire Terrier fits city life very well, adapts to apartments, and doesn't need a lot of space. But it loses points where many people make the biggest mistakes: alone time,
Barking,
boundaries, and grooming. In our daily fit index, the Yorkshire Terrier scored around 3 out of 5. That's not a bad score, it's an honest one. This dog offers a lot of closeness, charm, and enjoyable daily interaction, but it doesn't forgive a "we'll figure it out later" approach. If you like clarity, routine, and a dog close to you, a York can be a perfect match. Similar breeds to consider. If a York is close to your ideal, but something still holds you back, consider a few neighboring breeds. Silky Terrier, the most natural alternative, similar in looks and size, but for some people even more terrier-like, meaning more expressive in character. Beware Terrier, a similar type of small apartment dog with a similar daily vibe and similar grooming needs. A good option for someone who wants a compact, family-friendly dog but still values grooming and relationship building. Maltese. For many people, a better option if they want a small dog that's more companion-oriented and less terrier-like. If a York feels too loud, too feisty, or too intense, definitely check out the Maltese or Silky Terrier. We will put the links on the end screen when the production is ready. Don't forget, subscribe and become the kind of owner your dog brags about at the dog park. Subscribe so you don't miss new episodes.